It's now time for Party Chat Sports.
The only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
And welcome back, everybody, to Party Chat Sports. We've got the entire crew here tonight for, we want to call this our Season 3 premiere. I mean, this is year 3 of us doing some sort of podcast together. We started off just doing, the audio podcast. We've done a full year and a half or so of video podcasting. And we're getting ready for the NFL offseason. We've got tons of content already up on the feed.
Yeah, good job, fellas. Honestly.
Remember when we could barely find a time to record?
Yeah, I think our first ever episode was like a top 10 quarterbacks in the league episode, 3 years ago. That took us like 2 hours to do.
Yeah, we took a little break in between there.
I mean, we've definitely taken our breaks. It will happen. Things come up in our lives.
Break. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Again, we were potting back in the old apartment, Gil.
Good times.
We were. We did.
I was still in college, man. I was still in college.
We tried to do something back then. That's right. And then it was like a year or two. It was Bush League.
It was terrible.
It was Bush
awful.
League.
Wow.
Don't go watch us.
Anyway, we're here today.
Anywho, we've got an entire offseason ahead of us. Free agency, negotiating, all that starts next week. If you look at our feed now, though, it's a lot of draft-related content, and that's what we're going to do here today. We are going to do our first full group mock draft. We usually have a lot of fun doing these. We go back and forth. So Dylan is going to have the first pick. Cam's going to have pick 2. I'll have the 3rd. Drew will have the 4th, and then we'll go in that sequential order right there. But again, for everything draft-related, do visit the channel at Party Chat Sports. Drew, Dylan, and myself have all put up some form of mock draft. We've got 2 full 32 picks or full first round. We've got a top 10. Cam also is getting ready to premiere a college football 25 video game series.
Yeah, when somebody does their recruiting.
We'll get there.
Let's relax.
We'll get there. Cam is getting ready. So again, we are going to get a lot of things up on the feed, but let's get to what we have today, and that is a group mock draft. And Dylan, Tennessee Titans are on the clock.
We won't have sound effects this year. It worked terribly last year, if I remember correctly.
It was not.
Does Drew have it on the soundboard? Does he have it loaded in? No.
Let's see.
Yes.
Hopefully that transport or
The
that.
Titans are on the clock.
I hope that
The
comes out
Titans are on the clock.
Okay, I hope that comes out beautifully in the
chill,
post.
brother, chill.
So with the Titans.
What?
Yeah. All right.
What do you say?
With the first pick of the Party Chat Sports 2025 mock draft, the Tennessee Titans are going with Abdul Carter, the best player available in this draft. And here's my take on this, all right? So we're not doing any trades today because PFF is a bunch of cheapskates and they make you pay to be able to do stuff. Here's what I think is going to happen personally. I think the Giants trade up to number 1 and they take Cam Ward. And then I think, the Browns take a quarterback. We'll see what happens here. But then I think Titans land Abdul Carter at number 3 anyway, which is best case scenario. Kind of what Gil was saying on his quarterback prediction video. So go check that out if you haven't seen that. Abdul Carter, though, best player of the class. I think, the edge rushing capability, the playmaking capability. He's just a dog, and I think everybody knows it. So a great player at an important position in football. You got to take it.
Drew, what do you think of the pick?
It's good.
I think it's a great pick.
It's great. It's fantastic. I think Carter's probably the best player in the draft. One year at edge, and you're the best at your position. Crazy.
It's pretty good.
Crazy.
I believe at least 2 of our mock drafts, not to give away, full details of every mock draft that we've done so far, but I believe at least 2 of them that we've done so far leading up to today has had Carter number 1 overall. Drew, you had a quarterback go first, didn't you?
I did indeed.
Okay. So then Dylan and I, again, not to give away state secrets, but
Yeah.
you find it out pretty quick when you watch those episodes where the number 1 pick is. That's a crazy thing about being number 1.
It does happen pretty quickly. Yeah. ESPN will make sure they drag it out though on draft night or whoever, whatever. All the
absolutely.
So, all right,
But Abdul Carter,
without talking too much because we got 32 picks to get through tonight. Browns on the clock. Gil or Cam?
I was going to say
It's Cam.
I was not prepared for number 2.
It's Cam.
Prepared
I'm sorry.
for 3.
The pick is in. The pick is in.
The pick is in.
And with
I'm not doing that every time.
with a
No, just do
quarterback
it for.
with the quarterback falling right into their lap. Best case scenario for the Browns in this draft, Cam Ward goes to the Cleveland Browns.
That actually
Listen.
is huge for them.
You need a quarterback. You need one on a rookie deal because you are paying an insane contract right now, and he has to be gone. He's not in the locker room. Locker room hates him. You need to bring in a new face, kind of revive the whole locker room a little bit. Get guys people want to play for, essentially, and hopefully Cam Ward is that guy. But as much as I don't think this is a strong quarterback class, I think it's the worst in maybe 9-10 years.
2022, fam.
I was going to say that Kenny Pickett class looks worse and worse every year.
I don't know. Kenny played better than Cam Ward did. He made
Kenny
a conference
Pickett is a
championship.
Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Rolling QB.
That's what I'm saying. So Kenny
Hold
Pickett
on.
is better than Cam Ward, in my opinion.
All right.
Listen, this is the guy that's going to revive the Browns.
You just said Kenny Pickett's better than him, though. How's he going to revive the Browns?
This is crazy.
You got Stefanski.
Damn, you were cooking, bro. Get back to what you were saying. You were speaking facts.
Listen. It's not a great quarterback class, but this is the Browns. This is a blessing to the Browns because you now get this quarterback on a rookie deal who has potential. You have Stefanski, who made Kirk Cousins look good. Let that be known. Also won a playoff game against the Saints with Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen. Let that be known. It's a good coach, good quarterback coach, and if you can somehow get a good running back in this draft, Cam Ward is going to help you a lot behind that offense.
Somehow, you better get a good running back in this draft.
The Browns are going to be the one team that drafts a bad running back in this class.
That would check out.
I mean, they still
Good
got
job,
Ford.
Cam. You were making a lot of sense there with the rookie QB contract.
The lot-
Oh yeah, that definitely.
That part definitely checks out.
I don't need praise for that. It's just common ball knowledge.
You do, actually. You do.
No, I just troll too much.
I think the one thing that I find interesting about this class, and I saw this comment made a day or 2 ago, is the quarterback class is not good when the teams with the top 2 picks need quarterback, and yet they're both desperately trying to move out of those 2 picks.
Can I say one last thing about my take?
Go for it. You're still on the clock.
It's kind of nice.
It's technically not. on the clock
Cam
anymore.
Ward is the tax write-off you are willing to take, and nobody else in this draft class.
Explain.
You get to cancel out the Deshaun Watson contract for a couple years.
It's not how that works.
If he does turn out to be really, really good, he could be worth a $50-60 million quarterback in year 1 if he leads them to the playoffs and whatever. That would be his market price at that point. Rookie quarterback leads the team to 12, 11 wins or
At that
11,
point, it's
12
gonna be like
wins.
60 mil.
Yeah, so that's essentially what I'm saying. You're willing to not trust in Deshaun for Cam Ward,
Well,
but you're not.
I
The
don't think
logic
they
is
trust,
there.
I don't think
The-
they trust in Deshaun anyway, and they're gonna pay Deshaun anyway. So it's not like they're paying a quarterback cheap. Most of those teams have good rosters. The Browns do not have one of that. I get the logic though. You want a rookie quarterback while you are paying Deshaun whatever his cap hit is, $90 million. I don't know what it is. It's ridiculous. But,
no, the 90 million quarterback is Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah,
he's
that's
the
my
one
bad.
that's
Hey, my bad.
He's a $90 million cap hit.
Worth it.
But Steven Jones is cooking. He's going to get that down to 80.
Yeah,
It is.
overpaid
That
for
would be
defensive
great for the
tackle
Browns.
today.
Though. That'd be a
Or
huge
yesterday.
dub. That'd be a huge dub for the Browns if they got him. Anyway,
I was
That
tempted with
it will be
Instagram, by
huge
the
for
way.
That would be a good pick for the Browns. They do
Giants.
need a quarterback. It screws the Giants because the chalk here is that they're going to go quarterback, but I have been consistent and will remain consistent that there's not another quarterback in this class that's worth it. So what do? They take the best player available. You're not going to risk your job on trying to mold another quarterback. You get aggressive, and if this happens, you're probably going to go sign like an Aaron Rodgers.
Who are they picking?
So with the third pick, they take Travis Hunter, the corner out of Colorado. I think
Travis Hunter.
But he's not going to be good.
If he plays wide receiver, if his primary position is wide receiver, he'll be a bust. If his primary position is defensive back, he'll be solid. It might be like a Jadeveon Clowney thing where you're not the worst, or you're not a total bust, but you'll be in the league for a while.
He's only worth a top 5 pick if he plays both ways, is my official stance.
I don't know. Him and Neighbors might be nice.
I heard
if he
that
plays
many people
both ways.
Consider him to be the best wide receiver prospect. That was what he was.
I don't.
I've heard he's the best corner.
He's better at wide receiver than he is at corner.
I don't think he is.
I think it's kind of, he's too small to be a corner. Too small.
Have you watch DJ Reed play? That dude's like 5'10".
I'm saying size, strength.
And by the way, size does not matter.
You can make great plays against subpar Big 12 teams.
He's 6'1".
Congratulations.
He's 6'1", 185. That's
185.
Slander will not stand in this.
It will.
Devontae Smith is 170.
His best plays are against Cincinnati. He had a couple good plays against BYU at receiver.
BYU was good.
Got cooked by Stanford. He doesn't show up against good competition unless he's at wide receiver. He's a great wide receiver. Keep him there. Let him develop even better. Him and Neighbors will be a deadly duo.
I think
he's not a better wide receiver. Is my take.
I think he's a better corner. I think he is. I mean, him and Will Johnson are the two best cornerback prospects in this draft. Travis Hunter does have the upside of being able to play both ways. I think that's where you use him as you try using him as a utility type weapon on the offensive side. Like his primary position is corner, and then you put him out on offense in different packages. That's the easiest way and best way, most effective way to be able to utilize both positions. It's easier to have him start corner and then primarily as a wide receiver instead of wide receiver and corner, wide receiver primarily. You get it. But here, you're the Giants. You're trying to save your job. The best quarterback's not there anymore. So you have to go with the best pick available. Because if you do not love Shedeur Sanders, I don't. You don't take him here at 3.
Terrible. He's a 6th round draft pick in town.
Sixth round. What is happening?
He's not better than Howard. I can tell you that right
True.
All right, moving on.
Buddy.
We're moving on. New England, you're on the clock.
I don't want to pick who I think the Patriots should pick.
You're gonna have to.
I'm not gonna have to.
He's right there.
Don't do it.
The rumor is he's fallen. So
I have seen that rumor. It's definitely being perpetrated by the Cowboys to get him to fall.
Other than it happened in 2 mock drafts that were released today by ESPN and The Athletic, but other than that, yeah. Anyways, it probably makes sense for the Patriots to pick Tet McMillan here.
But do that.
Could take Will Campbell. That would be
That's
smart.
smart.
It's not.
Who are you taking?
What do you mean?
Who are you taking?
I haven't picked anyone yet. I'm thinking.
Oh, I thought you did.
That's what we're asking.
Chill.
Oh, I'm still weighing my options here.
We got 29 more picks, man.
Why'd you play the draft?
The worst offensive line in the league, man. Remember them like blocking grades charts?
Yeah, they're terrible.
They're being graded a 0.
They're terrible.
0.
It's a terrible O line.
Yeah.
Misuse on the button there.
Will Campbell,
Was not
Patriot.
in.
Woo!
Yeah, that's what he should have done.
I think I also picked Will Campbell in my mock.
I did as well.
I do like
hate
that.
on me. It's actually.
I do like
I
that.
just wanted you to not take 45 years. That's all.
He's going to be the tight end or the tackle that can play tight end.
I think he'll play
be awesome.
tackle. I think he'll play
He can
tackle
play guard
or guard. Yeah.
or center.
Yeah, but like you're gonna be able to give that man some packages.
I don't think you can because Drake May will die on that play. Anyway, is that me back on the clock?
Show is, what do the Jaguars do?
Yeah, so the Jaguars here,
Good.
yeah, I'm looking at center guard, D-line, corner. You could take a lineman here, but I just don't think, given the board, there is another top lineman close. I mean, people tackles and stuff, they always push themselves up the board. But with D-lines right there in my face, glaring need, I'm going Mason Graham. He's a great player. Jaguars, huh?
That's a beautiful draft pick.
Oh, thank you. Throw him out there with Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker and another stud on the D line. I think it'll
Government name. It's crazy.
It'll be nice. Yeah, I mean that's his name. So
All right.
that's my pick.
That's a solid
Getting
pick.
name
He's a
change
top 5
right in
player in the
first
draft.
try is not something that normally happens.
Yeah, well, he didn't want to be Josh Allen anymore, man.
Good job.
He wanted to separate himself from the other Josh Allen.
White Josh Allen.
Cam, you're on the board. The Raiders.
On the board.
You're on the clock.
Okay. Well, the pick is in.
Okay.
Listen, every single draft is gonna have, that stunner. Like it's gonna shock you because GMs are stupid,
All right, let's get to it.
right? So
Oh man, don't.
Do it.
Don't. Let's be real here.
Cam, do it.
Cam, who's the
sixth
pick?
pick
Make the pick.
in the NFL draft, the Raiders get back their running back, and they draft Ashton Genty.
Dang.
Wow.
Dang. That'd be a
Yeah.
shocker. I'd be shocked.
Josh Jacobs really they missed him this year. Let's be honest.
They did. Zamir White was
So-
trash.
He's coming. We're getting a better one.
Look at Cam go.
This could
That's
be
solid.
this
That's
could
good.
happen too. This could happen. I think
Yeah.
they'll sign Najee. I just want to say that. I think Najee's a
Watch a
Raider.
couple
But
YouTube
regardless,
videos.
Well, even
of
if they sign Najee, they should still draft
That's
running back.
that's a dynamic duo, right
Sure,
there. I
sure.
kind of like that duo.
it's
Signing
great
that
duo.
bad.
And then drafting Genty at 6 would be diabolical.
It would be
Yeah.
terrible use of assets, but it would be fun.
Something the Raiders would do. I don't know if
It
Tom Brady
sounds
would
right.
let him do that.
Tom Brady's going to say, "F them running backs." Draft this white wide
Why
receiver.
don't they just make Tom Brady GM? He's just doing
At this
everything else.
point. Why
That's
not?
true. That way, when they're bad, he doesn't get fired.
True.
Yeah.
Good pick,
Pretty
Cam.
much Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones.
Good pick, Cam.
I love that. I actually do. That's a fantastic pick, I think, there.
I was curious as to where he was going to go tonight.
There was a part of me that was thinking he was going to go Genty, but I definitely saw why.
I mean, it
everybody
happened
thought
with
quarterback.
Bijan.
It did. It did.
And Jahmyr Gibbs to an extent.
Kind of. I mean, I think the
an
Lions
extent.
were Lions were that one team that you were looking at first round running back because they had 2 first round picks, but they took them as high as they did. I think was it. Anyway, Jets. Jets. So
With the 7th pick here, Mason Graham's gone. Best player that you had on your board is gone. You need a weapon. They released Devontae Adams today. They're about to get rid of
Pause.
Alan Lazard.
Pause. We're gonna have to cut this part out. My recording stopped, and I don't know how long it was. My AirPods just went out.
I heard you.
All right, go ahead and start again now.
Okay. We should be fine. It'll
keep
all
going.
work out.
Keep going.
The Jets need weapons bad. So you could go one or two directions here. You could go Tat McMillan or Tyler Warren. If they were to retain Devontae Adams, this pick would be so much easier. But because they will need desperate for another weapon on the other side of Garrett Wilson, with the 7th overall pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets are going to select Tat McMillan out of Arizona.
That's terrible.
Dang.
Boo.
Okay.
Him and Garrett Wilson are going to...
It's not even a need. Doesn't even show up on the needs.
Because they don't know anything. They just released Devontae Adams. Alan Lazard.
You got
is about to be
Alan
gone.
Lazard. You have Alan Lazard. Why be greedy about your wide receiver? TBT.
after Garrett Wilson, once Alan Lazard is gone, after Garrett Wilson, they don't have anybody. Like they have Malachi Corley.
Yeah, Justin Fields don't want to go
Yeah,
there.
give Corley a shot.
Fields don't wanna
man.
go
But he's still
there.
he's number 3.
Fields don't
Yep.
want to go there. He got no weapons.
They got running backs, and Garrett,
No weapons.
he'll be a Jet. He'll be a Jet.
Not
I know
a
you're
Jet.
trying to manifest it, but
He's not a
He's gonna
Jet.
be a Jet.
He's not a Jet. They don't make green jerseys with this number and name on it. Sorry. We don't need to go into that
Yeah.
tonight.
not yet.
We need to go into that tonight. We don't need to go
All
into
right.
that tonight. Good pick, though,
Anywho.
if he's
Crazy,
there.
man. I hate it.
A 6'5" wide receiver.
Tet wasn't making it, man. He wasn't making it to 12.
He's making it. He's making
Not tonight he wasn't. That's just all
All
I'm
right,
saying.
Drew. Well, I took your pick for the Cowboys. Now you're on the clock for the Panthers. All right, number 8.
I don't see how that's a.
Tet was going to be a saint if he wasn't taken. So
Panthers just suck. So, I need a lot of stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they could replace, like, what's his face?
they just cut a DB.
Yeah. Who cares about DBs, though? You can get one.
What about the trade J.C. Horn?
You traded Brian Burns. You never got anything back. You suck. Go ahead and get yourself an edge rusher right here. Who do we want, though? We want James
Just
Pierce. Boom.
Zero preparedness for these picks tonight.
What do you mean?
Drew talk about Willis.
Yeah, that's a
Dude,
James
something to
Pierce.
say.
All right, Mr. Preparedness.
We gotta go quiet now and let Dylan finish with you.
James Pierce is going to be a good player, I think.
Really
Thank you.
What
earth-shattering
that's
take.
Great prepare. I thought you were gonna have. You know what? That's a way to study James Pierce right there. You
think he's-
seem very prepared.
Oh, he's got off the field issues, but he tested out of the building and he had production. So
Listen,
you're athletic
if
and you
doesn't
have production.
off the field issues, he's probably not that good.
this is true.
Only if you're
Have
a
him
Georgia.
with a little
Yeah. I mean, he's-
aggression to a little mean streak.
He's
He went to
close
Georgia,
to
it'd be
Georgia. He's
different.
close to Georgia. So
All right, well, since you're yelling at us for not being prepared,
fine. Tyler Warren's the pick.
Saints.
Bang.
For the Saints.
Tyler Warren to the
Warren.
Saints. Playmaker. If Tet was on the board, I was taking Tet, but Saints need all the weapons because they got nobody. Even if you count Olave, he's only playing like 5 games a year. His brain's mush, so you need somebody to throw the ball to. So Tyler Warren, he'd be fun.
Would not be fun. The Saints are not fun.
Yeah, you're right.
They haven't been fun in 10 years.
Yeah, we probably would never hear Tyler Warren again if he went to the Saints. So.
He's getting banished.
All right,
right.
Cam.
with the
All right,
Bears got.
Well, this is a little shout out for Thomas Moody.
Thomas, full government name again.
Dang.
I think the Bears need to get a little bit more aggressive on defense. And if he's going to fall to them at this spot, or at least land in this spot, I think Mike Green is going to be a Chicago Bear.
What are you laughing at?
Nothing. This is fine. It's fine. Good pick.
Solid pick.
What's going on with the
Looking, I'm
silence
not-
here? Talk about it.
I'm thinking here. You know, I'm trying to be prepared. I'm on the clock.
I picked
Way
the pick
funnier
that
to
was
just-
reasonable and wasn't going to hurt the Vikings. Because
Wasn't gonna hurt
Darius
the
was locking them up.
Vikings.
Well,
Mike Green
what if
is
he,
tearing
you
up
know,
your bum tackles?
what if he sacks
Bomb
JJ
tackles,
McCarthy?
play us next year, dude. Stop being scared. Schedule us.
50-0 next time.
What if he sacks JJ McCarthy 4 plays into the season?
Who? Jason?
Your starting quarterback?
JJ McCarthy.
Isn't
What if
Jason?
Mike Green? What if Mike Green sacks JJ McCarthy 4 plays into the NFL season?
That'd be funny.
That would affect you.
As long as
That'd
he
affect the Vikings.
as long as he didn't tear his ACL off his bone,
Achilles.
you
That's
know,
not even the
Achilles.
correct
Achilles, whatever
injury.
it was. I'm just saying a different
You're
injury
right.
if we're gonna talk about theoreticals.
All right. Speaking of theoreticals, I guess the San Francisco 49ers are on the clock. Not the greatest transition, but it is
There's
what it
one
is.
right answer here.
Is there?
I think
He's sitting
there's
right-
a,
he's
a
sitting
couple
right there.
There's a couple.
He's
I
sitting
saw
right
they
there.
offered the
The 49
$45 million.
The 49ers. What?
They offered Brock Purdy $45 million a year.
Did he
Nice.
take it?
No.
I
Good for
would.
him.
That just shows you how good Brock Purdy actually is.
So the 49ers need offensive line. They're going to need weapons too. So I'm looking at wide receivers potentially. I'm looking at maybe defensive line. I don't see an offensive lineman that I really want. So we're going to go, let's pay the $45 million man and get him Emeka Egbuka.
Ooh,
Yes,
that's
sir.
a pick. Interesting.
It's a great
There he
pick.
goes.
I think Luther Burden to replace Debo might have made a little more sense, but hey,
You know, well, I
It's a
mean,
good
Debo
pick.
didn't win the Super Bowl, so maybe get someone that's like him. But good route runner, better route runner, I would say. Still physical.
I'm a little partial to Emeka, even though I did take him in my last mock draft. But
take off the Buckeye
I-
glasses.
The Buckeye glasses aren't on. He's a great route runner. Can catch a lot of contested catches, aka watch an Oregon game.
Luther Burden is a better route runner than Emeka Egbuka.
The Missouri, I don't know.
That's like what Luther Burden does. That's like his thing.
So
Hey,
is
we're going to
Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka. We're going to Emeka Egbuka here.
All right.
Yeah, Luther's fallen.
I like he's my second favorite wide receiver in this draft. So
Don't scout the helmet, boys. Come on now.
We're not scouting.
sometimes I do,
helmets.
sometimes I don't. You know,
You don't
I
have a
usually
helmet.
Cowboys on the clock. Don't even know what that means.
What does it mean?
That I don't have a helmet. I don't know what that comment means.
Yeah, I mean,
Drew is on the clock.
Thank you. Thank you. So you just want to go ahead and steal Tet from me, so that's whatever. He's falling here. So real life
Nah.
Tet to the Cowboys at 12.
This is
It's
real life.
happening.
What do you mean?
But
We're 11
in
for
this-
11 on what's
in
going to
this
happen.
scenario. I would like a little Burden action. That would be sick. But I think what we're going to have to go with is, I don't know how to say this, but Jade Barron out of Texas. Let's go.
I think it's Jade. I think it's Jade.
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 Jade Jr.
Either way, we're going with Barron.
Oh, good one.
Going with Barron. He's a
Good
beast.
pick. Good pick. Good pick.
Solid corner.
Trayvon
I didn't know
Diggs
much
on
about him a
fraud
week
watch.
ago, but I've seen a lot of him on Twitter recently. He's pretty good.
You're about to say
Diggs
something
is
about
on-
Trayvon
Diggs
Diggs.
is on fraud watch. He got injured himself again. Supposedly, we want to look at like cutting him or trading him. I don't know what all that.
Oh, he's injured
about.
again?
So,
Oh, man.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he
I
hurt
saw
himself-
the
hurt himself
trade
last year.
stuff.
Yeah, towards the end of the season, he re-aggravated his knee injury, whatever, and had to come out.
He's
for
done.
The season. And
He's done. He's never
supposedly,
going to
the
be
Cowboys
the same.
were saying it's because he wasn't rehabbing like he was supposed to. He said that's not true. You know how that goes.
Typical Cowboys
I
ownership.
don't know. He's a Diggs
Jerry.
man, so he could be full of.
All right.
We'll go with Barron.
Good pick. Good pick. Puts me back on the clock with Miami here at number 13, and I'm going to take Malachi Starks. Same thing I took in my mock draft. Just makes sense. They have safety as a need. He's close to them from a scouting perspective, so they know a lot about him. Malachi Starks is a great safety. I think he'll do well in the league, and Miami bolstering their back end. I think it's a good pick for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors that they're not going to keep Javon Holland. Like they didn't franchise tag him. It sounds like they're going to let him hit the market. So there is a hole at safety. And they definitely need guys that are going to help them win now with the quarterback, head coach, and general manager that they have all seemingly on the hot seat. You get a guy like Starks that could come in and probably start day one for you in the secondary and help you win now.
Good stuff.
Cam, that puts you on the clock with the Colts.
Well, I feel like the Colts are kind of obvious here. They kind of need everything, but they are lacking in the corner spot. We're going to take Will Johnson, the best remaining corner in
Good
this
pick.
draft class.
Good pick. Good pick. Good pick.
Falcons
fit.
on the clock.
He'd fit. He'd be a good fit.
I like that fit for them. With the Falcons on the clock here, you want to build around your young quarterback, Michael Penix.
Phoenix.
You have a defensive-minded head coach, so you could go linebacker, but I'm going to go Luther Burden here
Good pick.
and get some help or some weapons for Phoenix. Arizona Cardinals.
Super easy. They need pass rushers from any position. We're going to go ahead and give them Michael Williams out of Georgia. Their defensive line is bad. I think their sack leader had like 3 sacks or something like that.
Good pick.
They need pass rushers. I would expect them to try to be active with some free agents that may be available or trade partners to address the defensive line. So that could affect their strategy. But in this scenario, get them some pass rushing help.
I can see it. I think in the last one you had Josh Simmons here, which also I think makes sense for them. There's chemistry already with the offensive line coach in Arizona, so having Justin Fryer, the offensive line coach from Ohio State, now there, Josh Simmons could have made sense, but they do need pass rush. And with a defensive-minded head coach.
I wonder if Josh Simmons would.
You already passed him.
I know. I was just looking for some other stuff. I wonder if Josh Simmons being paired up with his offensive line coach would go differently than Josh Simmons at another team. Because a lot of the top tackles are being projected as guard, Josh Simmons included. So
you're saying
would his coach agree, or would he put him at tackle?
And honestly, who's got the best feedback on a guy like Josh Simmons than the offensive line coach for the Cardinals right now?
He would know.
He coached him 2 years in a row.
Right. He's the guy that's going to have the most insight because he's worked with him every day.
Yeah. He's going to know if he's worth it or not.
Insight would be he's a tackle or he's a guard.
Yep. He's the one that's going to be the best to answer that question.
Both spots are needs listed for Arizona. So
guard is also listed as a need for the Bengals.
this is true, and that I guess that puts me on the clock. Offense is definitely not what I'm going to do for Cincinnati. It has wide receiver listed as a need. I personally don't know where on earth you could come up with that as being the Bengals' top need. I don't know what PFF's on over there, but
that's supposed to be the Jets right there. Like
that's not
Jets switch there.
That just doesn't make sense. So we're not going wide receiver. Guard, I could see it. You want to protect Joe Burrow. They did just get rid of Alex Kappa this week. And D-line's a need as well. But given the current listing, I'm looking at 2 guys, Kenneth Grant and another guy who I think falls into this area. They would be very happy to run up the pick here. They are.
Looking at the first guy.
Can I finish?
Yes.
They are losing Jermaine Pratt, or at least Jermaine Pratt has requested a trade, and even then last year he wasn't very good. Jahad Campbell here to the Bengals. They get a stud linebacker to anchor the middle of their defense here for years to come. It would pain me to see that, but I think it's a good pick.
Jahad Campbell, the Cincinnati Bengals at pick 17. He fell. He fell. He could have gone earlier.
Typical off-ball linebacker things, you know.
And that puts the Seattle Seahawks.
When did Jack Campbell go in the draft?
He was mid first because it was
18.
Jahmyr Gibbs, and then
He went 18. So I just took Campbell 17. Feels about right.
That's that's good that you knew that right off the rip there, Cam.
Yeah, I know.
Did you say 18, Cam?
You did.
I did.
Wow, closet Lions fan.
Cam, you're on the clock with the Seahawks.
All right, well, I think you need to build up your offensive line again. It kind of sucks. When your 2 needs are guard and center, you go out and you get a tackle because you're stupid. Go and get Josh Simmons from Ohio State. See what he can do on that line. See if he's versatile.
All right.
He's a guard.
I mean, maybe he is a guard for the Seahawks.
Well, they don't have a need at tackle, so.
Or they shift that around. You know, they play around with the offensive line a little bit and
Playing around with it.
let's get crazy. I'm not gonna go where I want to go with that. So we are going to keep
the
on
Bucs.
moving.
You're on
So
the board.
with the Buccaneers, it looks like Chris Godwin could be on the way out. So do you go wide receiver?
I don't know. Do you?
You also have a defensive-minded head coach in Todd Bowles. Like, you could go, I'm not even going to try pronouncing his last name, out of Boston College. Or Shamir Stewart out of Texas
I'm going to be
Tech.
honest. I've never seen that dude out of Boston College yet.
Yeah, it's a first.
I haven't either.
We're gonna have to go
I'd
look
say
at
that's
our
the first
mocks
one.
that we've.
Where'd
that we've been sending.
PFF find this guy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
His average draft position is 32.
That can't be right.
Look at the grade against
So-
Pitt. Exploded onto the scene in the last game of the year.
Wow.
Never. We are going to go with. Let's go Shamir Stewart out of Texas Tech. That one's been
Texas Tech.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M.
A&M. I'm getting all of my Texas. mixed up. They're all the same.
Agricultural school.
Bucks get it. Edge rusher is a huge need for them. They get. I think he's probably the best edge rusher on the board here, even though I don't know where he went to school. But he's definitely better than this. He's a Raku, whatever, however you say his last name. And I say that knowing that, or he's going to be like Defensive Player of the Year some year, but it doesn't matter. The Bucks are going with Shamir Stewart.
Broncos. All right. Listen, there's a lot of things we can do here. We got 2 tackle prospects who may be guard, although that Missouri tackle, I'm not even going to try to say his last name.
Membu.
Membao.
That feels right.
I heard he's pretty good, but the Broncos had the most expensive offensive line in the league last year, and I imagine it's probably still the same way this year. Anyways, lots of defensive line here that we can go with. A lot of good options. A lot of guys that Dylan wants at some point.
They don't need that. They don't need that.
Grant,
Look at the
Derek
needs.
Harmon, Darius Alexander, Walter Nolan. Listen, man, if you only draft by needs, you're going to pass up on a lot of good players.
You good?
The heck was that noise?
That's what the Broncos are doing.
Let me go check on that real quick.
Anyway,
Last shatter, like Stone Cold's about to come in.
Lots of good defensive line. Like I was saying, even though it may not be a need, sometimes you have to take the best player available. And so we're going to do that.
Communism.
We're going to pick Matthew Golden to the Broncos. Woo!
Yay!
You threw me off for a second. Like, wait a second. Matthew Golden's not a...
Matthew.
I like that.
Wide receiver, had a great combine.
He did. His stock really has gone up.
Slow, quiet season until the end of it, when he started to show out, noticeably against Arizona State and
Georgia.
I think he did decently.
I think he did good against Georgia, if I remember right.
He did do good against Ohio State too.
Did good against who else did he play right before that? Clemson.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the season is when he started getting noticed, and then he comes out. His teammates are barking about them having the fastest time, breaking the record, and he's the one that actually has the fastest time. So
That's crazy.
What happened? No, dang. Dang, man. Good pick. Dang it. No, that's a good pick. Good pick. Yeah, no, dude's a baller. You got a Santonio Holmes comp. What I would do to have a Santonio Holmes on the team again, that'd be crazy. I don't know what else was said about him, but I love the guy. 4.29 is also awesome.
Solid pick. Really good pick for the Broncos. I'm sure the Steelers are going to... I mean, you're already wearing number 2 for Shedeur Sanders, right?
I forgot he's even on the board still. That's crazy. Wow. His rank is 47 on PFF, but ADP is 6. No, I'm looking at all these D linemen, and I'm just so happy. I mean, look at how many there are. We've taken 1 so far. This is great. So I think if the Steelers find themselves in this position, maybe they trade down. That'd be cool. But I'm looking at 2 guys, Kenneth Grant, Derek Harmon. Flip a coin. I think they're both going to be studs. Kenneth Grant is more of a run stopper. Derek Harmon's got a little more pass rush juice. And Derek Harmon is also going to be the next Cam Hayward. So Derek Harmon is the pick here out of Oregon.
Pick. Good.
Solid pick.
We'll get an Iowa State wide receiver in the second round. We'll be okay.
All right, I'm back up.
You are.
Back up so Cam can pick for the Vikings.
Oh.
So that's what's going on.
Good thing
here.
I don't pay attention.
Listen, back to what I was saying for the Broncos. A lot of good stuff here. A lot of good D line in here.
Oh yeah, getting Bo Nix a weapon was awesome too. By the way, they need to do that. Sorry, go ahead.
I know you're a big Bo Nix fan. Same kind of deal with the Chargers. Like, all they got is Lad McConkey. JK's a free agent, I believe.
He is.
Gus Edwards probably as well. I'm not sure on that one. Either way, I'm not letting Gus Edwards prevent me from drafting any certain type of player. So, running back is in play. Again, defensive line in general would be a good pick with Joey Bosa being older and not as good as he used to be.
Gus Edwards is not a free agent.
A free agent. You need some edge help. So, what are we going to do here? We're probably, we could go Jalen Walker, who some people say could be good rushing the passer.
Gesundheit.
Nick Scourton, who had a pretty good combine. Who else do we want? Landon Jackson had a pretty good combine here. Huge bounce back for Landon Jackson after he had that video of him not being able to hit the freaking.
Yeah. The before and after of the bag drill was crazy.
He was like going into that, he was like a 5-star prospect, and you watch him do that drill, and you're like, dude, what? How? And he's come a long way, so good to see that.
It just flashes on tape.
Chargers are going to Marion Hampton. Boom.
Good pick.
Probably not the smart pick, but it's fun.
It's a good pick.
But with Harbaugh, it might be a good pick.
That's correct. But if Golden was here, I would sprint to get in my Golden card. He's not here though, so we'll
golden ticket.
The golden ticket. It's crazy.
It's huge. Colston Loveland could be interesting.
I was kind of thinking Colston Loveland for the Chargers because of Harbaugh being there and the need. I mean, there's a need for tight end for the Chargers, need for weapons for any sort of weapon, really, for Herbert and that Chargers offense makes sense here. So Hampton, 2 running backs here in the first round. I like that. The revival of the running back position.
All right,
What
go.
do the Packers do here? Packers are an interesting team, I think, mostly because I don't know much about them. I'm looking. They need a wide receiver, but is there a wide receiver that's worth taking here at 23? I mean, I'm really not so confident that there is. A lot of the guys out of the consensus for them at this spot, Shamir Stewart gone, Michael Williams gone, Golden, Derek Harmon. A lot of the guys that generally are taken for the Packers here are gone. So we're going to take this Boston College edge rusher, the next best defensive player on the board.
They always
Or
draft
PFF.
weird names,
Sounds like
too.
a Packers
does.
pick.
It is a
Random
Do
dude.
weird stuff.
And
freaking Luke Van Ness.
here's
Last
something I
year.
just thought of. Who is the Packers defensive coordinator? I'm pretty sure it's Jeff
Jeff
Hafley,
I don't know that.
who was
type
the
of
Boston
info off
College
my
head
head.
coach. Yep. Boom. That's perfect.
That's like
I knew exactly
beautiful
what I was
ball
doing.
knowledge. That's beautiful
That's
ball
exact.
knowledge.
I knew what I was doing. I don't even.
Sometimes
I pretended to act like I didn't. I really knew what I was doing there.
That was recent, right? Wasn't that like a week ago?
Hafley,
About a week ago.
Hafley was DC last year for the Packers, and then he.
Never mind. I just made that up.
He's making shit up.
But
Some college head coach just got hired as a coordinator like last week.
Bowling Green's head coach got hired as a Eagles assistant,
Action.
not a
that's right.
coordinator. But he's like a tight end or wide receiver coach or something like that.
And
But
Ohio State's offensive coordinator got hired.
Chip Kelly did get hired by the Raiders. But now the Vikings, Cam, you are on the clock with pick 24. 24 is a good number. Go for it.
Okay. I want it to be known. I don't
Where he's
think
going.
this is who we are going to pick, but I think this is what should happen. After the combine, watched a lot of defensive linemen. I've seen Walter Nolan, Kenneth Grant, maybe a little Tyleek Williams in there. A pretty good cone drill. Got God on his side. Kenneth Grant is a phenomenal defensive tackle. So give me the guy with the chip on the shoulder, Darius Alexander.
Good pick.
Let's go. That's huge.
We need our
what
defensive
she
tackle
said.
back.
Maybe
Linval
not
Joseph.
over Kenneth Grant, but good pick.
We like that. We like that. We like some action around here.
Listen, there's one common factor in all the Minnesota Vikings great teams over the years. You got the Williams, you've got John Randall, you got
Going
the
back to
leaders.
the 70s. Going back to the 70s, the great teams over the years. Anyway,
You need to get back a premier defensive tackle. Let him grow from the defensive line coach, because you haven't drafted a great one. You keep drafting these small ones. Give me a dude that's going to go out and make an impact with Dallas Turner and Jonathan Grenard. That's all I'm asking for.
TOL, baby. TOL. We love
No,
that.
I'm not saying that. Go EMU. MVGSU.
buddy, you can't
You can't claim them both. You
you
can't
can't do
either.
them both. You can't
I
claim them both.
attended EMU.
Great pick. Love the pick here. Love the pick. Love action. Texans are on the clock. I think, Dylan, this is you.
It is me. When I last had the Texans, Matthew Golden was still around, and I think again, if he's here, you're turning in that golden ticket. You see wide receiver as a top need.
No way he's getting to 25.
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. I'm looking at the wide receivers. You got to scroll down a ways to get there. I'll talk about some of the other positions for a second. Center, guard, D-line, a couple of good names here still at the top of the board. I think the top four names, all very strong. The Missouri tackle, Kenneth Grant, I think falling here would be insane. A rank of 17, an ADP of 18. I don't know how he's made it this far. Kelvin Banks, strong O-lineman, Walter Nolan. You really couldn't go wrong with any of those four names. I do want to just say we are likely to get some wide receivers taken in the first round that are not currently there. It pretty much happens every year. Wide receivers get pulled into the back end of the first round. We'll probably see that a little bit later, though, in the round. I'm going to stick on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to take Kenneth Grant, stop the slide. I mean, he's so good of a player. To be a steal here at 25, I think Houston would be ecstatic, especially with their defensive guy background for their head coach. I think he'd love that as well, Kenneth Grant.
I like it. Is that Drew now on the clock for the Rams?
Nope, it's Cam.
This is Cam.
Okay.
Pissing me off.
Rams are kind of you don't really know what you need. Like, your rookies played good on defense. Your offense, you probably need a wide receiver if you're getting rid of Cup. That would probably be the smart choice.
You got good wide receivers.
But DeMarcus Robinson was wide receiver 3.
That's not true.
If you-
Tutu Atwell was wide receiver 3.
Oh, that makes it better.
That's
Tutu Atwell's
so
a
much better.
dog. Tutu Atwell's a dog, by the way.
How many yards did he have last year?
Short
600?
Kings, baby.
I don't know how many
Let
yards
Tutu
Tutu Atwell.
be wide receiver 2. And
Yeah,
You're saying he's a dog.
562 yards. Yeah, he's playing
What a
behind
dog.
Cup. He's playing behind Cup and Puka. He's not going to go crazy.
He played
No,
behind
what did
nobody.
DeMarcus Robinson have? Go ahead and look that number up too.
DeMarcus Robinson stats.
And touchdowns.
He also had 500 yards. He had less than Tutu Atwell.
Anyways, got to build up the O-line. Protect Stafford a little bit more. I think this is the dude that has the immaculate meme route. We're going to take Kelvin Banks Jr. Just a big
Immaculate
hoss at
meme.
left tackle. There's a a meme of him running a slant route. I think that might be him. I thought it was a recruiting video.
I do not know what you're
The
talking
meme
about.
of the dude running the route for
Looks
Texas.
like Drewski. Looks like
It's like a
Drewski.
rapper, dude. That's not that's not Kelvin Banks.
Hey, I would like to think it's him. It's a big dude, even though I'm
Kelvin
pretty.
Banks
He might
is
have been
a
the
big
dude that.
man, but he ain't like that.
Hey, listen, that's who we're drafting.
No, the
Good pick.
The pick is
He,
fine.
he's
The
going to
meme
come
is
back
hilarious.
from getting destroyed by Sawyer and JTT. He's going to be okay.
Sorry.
He actually wait a minute.
What do you
Wait a
mean?
minute.
Sawyer didn't do nothing.
Hold on. I
touchdown.
sent a video
What's up,
breakdown of how Kelvin Banks threw Jack Sawyer out the club. JTT did well against him, but he threw Jack Sawyer out the club because Jack Sawyer's small.
At the club.
You threw Jack Sawyer in there in a place where he didn't belong.
Jack-
Kelvin
Jack-
Banks threw him out of the place where he didn't belong.
Excuse, bro. He had a touchdown in a.
It wasn't against
It's
him.
okay.
It wasn't
It
against
was
Kelvin Banks.
in that game.
Doesn't matter.
You
What you
could
said
take
is
one
wrong.
You take one play, sure, yeah. That's the one out of what 128 total.
He
plays?
did nothing against Kelvin Banks.
All right, we'll review this later. Anyways, Baltimore Ravens are on the clock.
They are, and it looks like a offensive line slide is about to start, or not really slide.
It's about to end.
They're going to, yeah. Armand Membo is going to be the pick here for the Ravens. Shore up the offensive line, try fixing some things up. They went into last year having to replace 3 different starters, and they still need help on the offensive line. Get them the best remaining linemen on the board. Don't think twice about it, especially when there's not a golden ticket here at 27.
And Ryan Sailor's never been able to be healthy.
Good pick. Lions.
I like it.
Clock. I think there's a few things you could do here. You could try to keep one of, if not the best offensive lines in the league, the best offensive line. So you could draft tackle here. Gray Zabel is a guy who's getting a lot of hype. Being a guy out of North Dakota State, you know, sometimes those guys get slept on. But he went to the Senior Bowl and he performed well. He went to the Combine and performed well. He's
Pretty guy, too.
He's a what do I want to call? He's a multi-tool offensive lineman. Again, another one of those listed at tackle, but you could easily put him at guard kind of guys. So I like that. Nick Scourton, they desperately need some edge help. So Nick Scourton, although I'm afraid of all Texas A&M players because they are just good athletes and can't play football for some reason. Jalen Walker, if you actually play him at edge and not linebacker, would probably be good.
They gotta
Man,
need
there's
it.
some-
They
there's
gotta
some
need
good
it
things
both.
you could do here. There's some good things you could do here. Oh. Give me Walter Nolan.
Walter Nolan, good pick.
Give me Walter
Good pick.
Nolan.
Solid pick.
Good
They
pick.
need a defense. They need defense.
I
Get
put
the defensive line.
yeah.
Get a good athlete. Get a good pass rusher. He's one of those pass rushing defensive tackles. Get after
Yep.
the passer. Him and what's his face will be good together. Even though I hate him.
I picked Jalen Walker in my mock because he can do the edge and the linebacker team need that they're showing. But that's a good pick.
Yeah, they're going to lose a linebacker to free agency. I don't remember which guy it is. So there's
Is it the dude with the long hair?
Barnes,
Maloney?
maybe? I think so.
I don't know.
I just know that there's a lot of rumors of like Jets having interest because of, you know, relationships and whatnot. But they just need defense. They need defense.
Hutchinson. Why couldn't I remember his name?
I thought you were just
Hutchinson
sticking
will
with
be good
the guy that
together.
you don't like.
Hopefully Hutchinson
Oh.
doesn't show Walter Nolan how to hip drop tackle because that's all he does.
Hutchinson's got like 70 speed these days, so we'll see. We'll see if he can return to form. This is my last pick. This is my last pick of the draft.
Yeah,
The
we all each
Commanders
have one
here
more.
at 29. So I'm looking at a couple of things. You see wide receivers in need, young quarterback. I think wide receiver is great here. Again, there's a lot of wide receiver needy teams later on in the draft. Not a whole lot of wide receivers on the board. Tackle, Gray's Zabel is something you could consider here. Edge, Something you could consider here. There's a couple of those guys. Corner looks like it's a sneaky need for them, and a guy we haven't talked about yet. There's a couple of corners on the board as well in that same range of where these wide receivers are sitting, right on the bubble of who's going to make it into the first round. Looking at Maxwell Hairston, not going to be my pick here, but I think it's definitely something to consider as a guy that could sneak up into the first round, given that 40 time that he ran with some impressive cover skills. He's got length. But with all that being said, to spend a lot of time, let me finish. With all that being said, I've talked a lot about a guy I'm not going to pick. Alec Ayamanor is going to be the pick here. Currently listed at 35, but again, I said it earlier, I did some foreshadowing. Wide receivers tend to find themselves pulled up into the back end of the first round. We saw it last year with Xavier Leggett, for example. So Alec Ayamanor, he's a guy that has impressive size. He's 6'2", 6'3", something like that. I even think someone said he was 6'4", but I don't think that's true. PFF says he's 6'2", but tested very well at the combine. Owned Travis Hunter, I believe. So you need to get Jaden Daniels another weapon, pair him with Scary Terry, and I think that would be a good tandem.
And Debo.
Debo.
And Debo. I mean, couple of beers, Debo. Look out there running around.
Brian Griffin looking ass.
Yeah. I don't know that Debo's gonna be good anymore, but
Nah, he toast.
get him a weapon. Alec Ayamanor. My draft is done, fellas.
All right.
You
Well,
did it.
Thank you.
Cam?
the Bills. Excuse me. The Bills are going to get to have a fun pick here. Just following the trend.
The Chiefs.
Just
Trade down one spot.
just following the trend of what they've been trying to do the last couple of years. I mean, you got Ed Oliver in there coming on the back end of his contract. Greg Russo. You got Von Miller over there. You could solidify a very young D line right now. You got the good tight ends. You got good offense. Like you don't need much. But
They just had to pay Khalil Shakir, man.
yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy. Anyways,
Sleep on Khalil Shakir.
I think with Micah Hyde retiring or being dog poo, we're gonna go with Xavier Watts, a real ball hawk here,
Ooh,
hopping in the first round.
All right.
good pick.
I like it.
That's fun.
Solid pick.
Shout out Tom right there too. He's a Notre Dame fan.
Is
We still
Tom
own
a
you.
Buffalo?
How about that,
fan?
daddy baby?
What?
No.
Did you just say daddy? Buddy just said, how
Daddy
about that
who?
daddy?
He said, "How about that?
Daddy
How
who?
about that natty baby?"
No, I heard daddy.
I did hear that. I don't know what you and Tom
Not-
got going on,
Tom
but I
is
think that's
not
the
my
last.
daddy.
That's the
It's not
last
the
we
fir-
talk about that, man.
It's not the first time I heard daddy tonight. Oh.
Crazy.
Okay.
Your sister.
That's
actually.
actually.
Hey.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
Hey.
Sorry,
hey.
man. You
Oh
walked into
my
it. I had to say
God.
You did. You did. You set all that up yourself. You laid every brick of that.
Thank
Brick
you for
by
taking
brick.
it off of me.
Wow.
Oh man,
Thank you so much.
that's funny.
That's fucked.
All right.
Well, all right. So the Chiefs here at 31. There's a couple things that they could do. They just lost the Super Bowl. I think Drew made a good point about something earlier, where you don't always draft a need that you have now. There's times where you draft a need you're going to have. At some point, Travis Kelce's going to retire. Even if he doesn't, he is clearly at the end of his career. You need to get a replacement for him. Patrick Mahomes is going to need weapons now and post Kelce. So I think this is a Colston Loveland spot. You're drafting maybe not a need in 2025, but it's going to be a need in 2026 and beyond. And with that extra fifth-year option that you're going to have on Loveland, you're going to have him under contract for at least 5 years. That keeps a little bit of a window open, even post Kelce. You get a good tight end in there. Let him learn. I mean, I think it's a good pick for the Chiefs here to learn from Kelce. He's a great guy, great teammate from all accounts. great player to learn from. At 31, he's the best player on the board, and it's going to fill a future need that you're going to have.
I think that's 3 for 3 on mock drafts from Party Chat Sports for the Chiefs. So that kind of feels like our JJ McCarthy pick last year. You know, we pretty much locked in on that for quite some time.
I feel like
Colston
that was
Loveland might be
premeditated.
That's what I'm saying. We nailed that, like out of the box. We didn't miss. And
this could
be
that,
this version.
We had that dating back to
we had that a year
season.
in advance. We had that a year in advance.
We had that during the season.
That's fine, but that's what I'm saying. It was premeditated. It was an attack.
I don't think it was an attack. We predicted the future.
I prayed for that. Okay, I wouldn't really call it an attack.
Yes,
I prayed
100%. 100%.
It's crazy that you think.
By the way, go check out that video.
It's crazy that you think the quarterback that you took in the first round, who you are going to praise for the entire next 12-month calendar year, is an attack. It's crazy.
Well, no, because I didn't want him
Eagles
in
are
the
on
beginning.
the
I wanted May.
They are on the clock.
Eagles will probably like swindle the Titans and get their first round pick for
Abdul Carter.
something. Like,
No, they're going to trade for Myles Garrett. They're not going to need Abdul Carter because they're
they're
going
going
to
to
trade
get
for
Myles
Garrett.
Garrett and Abdul Carter.
They're actually going to trade up with the Browns and get Myles Garrett in the same compensation.
Wow.
And they're going to get Deshaun Watson just so they can take the
They're going to give him
contract.
Kenny Pickett, Super Bowl
That's
winning quarterback.
crazy. Kenny Pickett in a
Phoenix
Browns uniform.
agrees with that. So
That'd be nuts. I did actually
Phoenix
see
loves that take.
the Eagles love to pick Georgia players. They love to pick players who have
Oh,
fallen
it's too easy.
farther than where they probably should have gone. So give me Jalen Walker.
Dang, that feels dirty.
You know what's happening, dude. Georgia player who has fallen a little bit farther than where he probably should have been. That's right up the Eagles' alley. That was too easy.
Well,
they're not going to give us.
Scarier.
They're not going to give us a grade for that. Hey.
You don't get a grade for the
bowl.
Let's just.
I give it an A.
We probably need a screenshot of this, huh?
Yeah, we'll get.
You might need to download that image.
Nah, that'll work. I'll be able to grab
Okay.
that. If you want to download it just in case. But I'll be able to grab that. Like, just crop it. I'll get that.
You got it.
That looks good. I like it. I think we're gonna go 32 for 32 here. Nailed it right out of the park.
I don't think that.
I think we crushed it. Yep. This is
Where-
all right.
Where's the faults? I see no issues.
He's
with
going to
this.
the Cowboys.
Unfortunately, the NFL draft has trades every year, and PFF's a bunch of communist, socialist.
They need more money.
I'm gonna stop that right there. Where I was going.
No, I called Drew a communist
More
twice.
money.
He did call him a communist. It was a golden pick. It was because Drew was.
It actually wouldn't make sense. They're very much capitalists, but that's a story for another day.
Communists are bad. So
Yeah, that's.
Bad commies. You know, like
Anyway, no, it was a good.
That's
pick.
right,
draft
comrade.
assistant, bro. I'm not paying for a mock draft assistant. Look at that right
Improve
there.
my draft.
Yeah,
All
they're
right.
just gonna say to take the higher ranked guys.
Yeah. No, it's going to probably like the more in-depth analysis on each player.
We should make the PCS mock draft tool.
That'd be sick.
That would be sick.
that would be nice. For
All right.
free. For the people.
For free.
Nah.
For the people, you're just going to see a million ads. And it'll be free.
Facts.
It will get
Hey.
hacked by the black market somehow as well. In that.
That's okay.
Somebody's
I'm
got to
gonna
make
run
money
my
off
check.
the ads, okay? Advertising's okay. Let's not knock it. People make money off that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a solid mock draft, especially for our first one before free agency needs are filled, because that's probably going to be one thing that changes up a lot of this is when holes get plugged and filled in free agency. So next week, whoa, take it easy there.
You keep going. You keep going.
When
You keep plugging.
we
them holes.
see next Tuesday, Wednesday, hey, these players have signed or agreed to contracts, that's going to change some of this up. So we'll come back before. I'm not sure how many more group mock drafts we're going to do, but we're going to get plenty more mock drafts up on the feed.
We'll probably. I'd imagine we do at least one more right before the draft.
minimum,
our
one
final one. Yeah.
Minimum one more. We'll do.
Mhm.
But we're still going to get plenty of draft content out. We're going to get plenty of content out in general here at Party Chat Sports. I did want to bring up and mention that today was a first for Party Chat Sports. It's the first time I have not worn a hat on the pod.
Wow.
Wow.
Was
the
that
history-
why? I did notice that when you loaded in.
I just didn't throw a hat on, and because we had a conversation the other day
Look
about
at this.
hats.
Wow, look
Yeah,
at
see,
that.
they're
I was gonna say something. I don't remember seeing your head in quite some time.
pause.
Good job. Shout out to Gil's head, everybody.
I have hair. For people that believe I'm bald, I'm not. It's just not the greatest hairline.
We don't got to start talking about
We're
that
not.
around here.
No, that's just going to make
Yeah,
Dylan
we got two
depressed.
terrible hairlines in here.
Anywho,
Yeah.
stay tuned
Yeah.
to the feed at Party Chat Sports. I'm going to try getting some content up this week as we get into
Try
free
some
agency,
bows
get ready
while you're at
for
it.
free agency. Nope.
What?
What?
Bose? Isn't that the hair thing?
Man, if you're gonna
Those
make
is
a joke,
headphones.
at least make it make sense.
Bose's headphones.
No, what's the hair one?
Put your bows on.
See, one of them sticky ones you put on Christmas gifts, it'll stick right to the forehead.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that kind of bow.
Now, there's
Yeah,
a lot of
that's
bows
Still
out there.
pretty bow.
Hides the hairline.
Anyway,
We're going to try getting more content. Anyways, we're going to try getting more content on the feed. I'm going to try getting at least one or two things up.
At least we
before the
got our
start of free
cameras
agency.
on, right, Gil?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Freaking
Yeah,
literally.
that's right.
Look at us. Stay tuned at Party Chat Sports. We'll keep you up to date with everything going on our Twitter. I'm looking forward to Cam's College Football 25 series that the four of us are going to be involved in. That should be exciting.
Go Cats.
Stay up to date with everything and anything going on at Party Chat Sports.
Go Cats.
Wherever you get your podcast. Until next time, peace.
You're a terrapin, brother.